healing. Somatic healing comes with several extraordinary healing modalities. And again, it's not linear, it's not, sometimes it doesn't make sense, and sometimes is doesn't make logic sense, but that's okay because the subconscious is not logic. It's not. And when somatic alchemical hypnosis is done in conjunction with medical treatment, it can be of such of great aid in controlling and eliminating pain, chronic condition, and accelerating the recovery with only a few minutes of practice each day. Few minutes of practice each day. That's something I started doing how many years ago? Many years ago. And that are just thought practices, thought feeling practices. At the beginning they will be thought and then they'll transform into a feeling. That's something I call thought feeling practices. And they are a great help in somatic alchemical hypnosis. And the the extraordinary benefit to this is that you don't rely on a therapist to constantly have sessions with a therapist, with a hypnotist, or with a coach, because I am giving you tools that you get to use every single day. Doesn't even take, at the beginning it might take 5 minutes, 7 minutes a day, not even that. Well, it can take more if you want, but after a while, um, because you use these tools over and over again, um, you will form thought feeling patterns, and after a while it will be like that. You begin to think about it, and then the subconscious just is just gonna go quick, because that's what the subconscious do. It's almost as if you get into a car and you start driving and you don't even press the pedal, and the car begins to drive at the most optimal speed required by the speeding law, right? So these are such wonderful technique. And the flower technique, it's it's the first technique I advise people to use on a regular basis, several times a day. It's such a powerful healing technique that helps you clear your mind right away, and it helps you release the weight of anxiety, and also brings a relief to your soul, because all of the weight of the anxiety, and also the weight of regrets, um, they sit very heavy on your soul. Kind of your soul is kind of around here, right? And this, it's more painful than this for most people. Like we think like thoughts and the mind is here, and then this is the heart. That's not necessarily so. Um, because the mind is all the way here, the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, the higher mind. It's many different levels of the mind, just as there is many different levels of the self. Okay, so there's the flower technique, and then we have the golden sun technique. It's a very powerful, it's cleansing and rejuvenating a technique, and it's very easy to learn, and it's extremely effective, extremely effective. And yeah, at the beginning it takes a little bit of time to learn these techniques, but these techniques are so um, they come with imagery, and whatever imagery whatever image gets created for you, you it will be so much easier to remember an image that has so many elements, and it can take you uh, an image is worth 1,000 words. So you don't need to logically remember 1,000 words as opposed to an image. and that's why it's easier to learn, and it's very, very effective. And but the subconscious's language is image and patterns. So the subconscious doesn't talk in logical words. Mm-mm. And doesn't talk in numbers either, right? And then we have the what I call the alchemical healing of root causes. We can explore the underlying causes of the disease that that are registered, so to speak, in the subconscious mind. Um, there's a lot of theorists stating that all of the physical diseases are um, stemming from thoughts and stemming from your subconscious mind because of thoughts that you had that are sitting, forming patterns in your subconscious mind. And I believe this is stemming from Jungian therapy, Carl Jung therapy through his shadows. And to a high degree, to a high extent, yes, it is so, but not all of that. And then there's many more explanation to this alchemical root causes of illness that I can guide you through. Not every guidance is good for every person. Then there's Ericksonian, which is permissive and tailoring. We get to tailor depending on your level of understanding and your beliefs and your values. Um, um, just by a few questions, I get to know what your main values are. You might not be aware that these are your main building blocks of values, and what are your main beliefs that are sitting at the at the very basis of who you are and how you make decisions, and how you appreciate life, and how you go about succeeding in life. Um, and and then we get to use this alchemical methodology to explore these underlying causes. Are these underlying causes sitting in thoughts that you have recurring thoughts at the present moment, or are they sitting in other places? So we get to explore that. And sometimes a couple of sessions is enough, depending on the severity of your condition. And there are many conditions that are such a rare condition, especially a lot of neurological conditions are being discovered more and more, and conditions that are very little known about it, that a lot of doctors might be in a little hurry to diagnose it as depression and anxiety or bipolar or many other psychiatric condition that may affect your stigma, your self-worth. A lot of people take the stigma and lower their self-worth because of that. They shouldn't be, well, easier said than done, but that can be avoided. And I'm familiar with a lot of the neurological disorder and a lot of the alchemical past lives contracts and higher consciousness and super consciousness. And I have good number of clients that I've sent back to their doctor and advise them to ask the doctor for specific genetic testing, for specific functional medicine testing. I myself have gone through a lot of functional medicine, through genetic medicine, and I myself have a couple of rare conditions that takes a while to diagnose, as opposed to being thrown into the pool of gastrointestinal conditions like IBS of gastroesophageal reflux. There's more to it. For example, a celiac disease or gluten intolerance. So that's easy to find, and it's an inexpensive test to do, and that's the easiest. It's the easiest to manage, and that brings you a lot of results quick. So I happen to look for that, and I know what to ask you, and it's something very easy to implement, and you give it a try and see if it works, and it's gonna help a lot of things. And if it doesn't work, then you haven't lost anything. You just ate healthier for for a good while, hopefully a good while, yeah. And then we have hypnotic movement. And hypnotic movement, it doesn't mean you are taken into a hypnotic trance. Um, because after a few a hypnosis session and after a few um, of the alchemical hypnosis somatic tools that I give you, you will learn how to enter into a very light trance. It's like a meditative a state, and then you begin to allow your body to move in a way in which it helps um, your subconscious and your body will tell you how to move. It's not a particular physical therapy or a particular yoga pose or a particular anything particular. Your subconscious will guide your body how to move to release trauma, to release the weight of the world you have on your shoulder, and oftentimes we have physical trauma like auto injuries, and we probably have gone into a vehicle collision that probably didn't take us through a spinal surgery or like that, but it could still have left an imprint. All of that that experience. Well, a lot of people. Well, a lot, a lot of people benefit from soul retrieval when something traumatic like that happens, because what the soul does. Okay, that's in addition to the hypnotic movement. I'll come back to the hypnotic moving. Through a soul retrieval, when we experience physical trauma in this current life, parts of our soul flee in addition to protect us, to in addition to not experience all of the hurt. And then through the process of soul retrieval, you bring back parts of the soul. It's not like you're without a soul, because you're alive and you're talking, you do have a soul, right? So then we bring back parts of your soul. That's again, that's such a beautiful alchemical regression hypnosis retrieval. It's more of a retrieval. Okay, but then back to the hypnotic movement. With hypnotic movement, again, we allow your subconscious to let your body move the way it wants. But you have to listen to your body, yeah, and allow your body to move in a very unusual way, well, safe ways, so you can release those traumas, and you can reduce swelling, you can reduce inflammation. A lot of people have arthritis. A lot of people sit on their chair way too long, me included. And this causes a lot of issues with the joints and with the skeletal, musculoskeletal system, because us humans we weren't designed to be sitting for that long, but these are the times. And then we have color healing, and with the color healing involves discovering the color of your pain in the body, and then learning is a way to move the color out of that area through a specific exit point, like acupuncture point, for example. You can understand the exit point through acupuncture points, um, and that your body can readily identify for you as acupuncture point. And it's especially powerful for headaches, and also very powerful for any chronic pain. Um, um, just a color, and then you work on that headaches are occurring, and then every time you go about healing, using the color healing to aid a headache, the color might change, but it doesn't matter that it changes the color, because the subconscious knows what it's doing. So there are specific techniques to use these colors to help you with headache, with chronic pain, with anxiety, and all kinds of difficulties. And then, of course, we have the inner healer. Inner healer, it's a very powerful inner guide. You can call it inner coach. But inner healer is such a beautiful inner guide that can give you not allopathic medical advice, but medical advice as in drink more water to stay hydrated, to nourish your nervous system. Now, that's medical advice. Eat healthier, reduce the amount of carbohydrates, take to protein to water carb. That's medical advice. Okay, we're not going to go too deep into that. And the inner healer can also perform what's called spiritual surgery. A lot of people are familiar with this. And um, there there's many cases in which the inner healer was able to perform the spiritual surgery to remove tumors, to repair the bones, to repair the muscles, to repair the internal organs in your body. There's a lot of miraculous healings, and a lot of cancer healing, spontaneous healings. It's well documented. A lot of people don't believe it, and that's okay. If they don't believe it, don't believe it. If you want to give it a try, give me a call. We can definitely give it a try. Now, that's not to say that the inner healer can heal everything that is not right with you, because there's more to it, and that I can advise you when we are a one-on-one. And then what we want to know, and what I want to specify is that it's very important to know that hypnosis, whether it's traditional, whether it's Ericksonian, and whether it's alchemical hypnosis, that hypnosis, it's a very powerful tool, and but hypnosis is not a magic solution to anything. There is no magic wand, and but it's a powerful tool to be used for therapeutic purposes. It solves a lot of problems, but it doesn't solve every problem. And the truth of the matter is that not everybody is hypnotizable. And there are little tests that I can guide you to see if you are hypnotizable. But even people that have been told that they're not hypnotizable, I have special techniques that I can work with them. And there is a significant degree of the success that can be achieved with these people. And this usually highly intellectual people that I still have techniques to use with them. And I have techniques where I engage both the conscious and subconscious mind at the same time. So then this works very well for these highly intellectual techniques that have difficulties going into a state of meditation or quieting their mind. But again, hypnosis, especially alchemical hypnosis, Ericksonian hypnosis, traditional hypnosis, it's a very powerful tool that can help you, when used correctly, to help you achieve personal goals. Whatever your personal goal is, you want to get rid of something, you want to enhance something, you want to improve something. Um, it's always a powerful tool because um, the subconscious mind works at a very fast rate, and it works from patterns, and it works from images and shapes and colors, which it takes a lot of linear words to describe all that. So the subconscious is quick to work with these patterns, and these techniques they should only be used under the guidance of a qualified practitioner. This is not a guided meditation, and any hypnotist need to be specifically trained in such hypnosis tradition. Whether it's traditional hypnosis, they need to be trained in traditional hypnosis. Whether it's Ericksonian hypnosis, they need to be trained in Ericksonian hypnosis. If there's alchemical hypnosis, they need to be trained in alchemical hypnosis. Because there are a lot of benefits with these techniques. And what's the worst that can happen in a hypnosis session? Well, the worst that can happen is that you get relaxed. You might just get a progressive relaxation, and that's the worst that can happen. Yeah? And if your conscious mind is so bent on not allowing your subconscious to go a little further, that's okay. There is always a next session we can utilize to go further to where you need to go. All right? All right. So let me know any questions you might have. I covered a good deal on this, about the alchemical hypnosis differences versus the traditional hypnosis. And let me know your questions. Give me a call, and we can always have a free consultation to see what can be done for you to take you to where you would like to arrive. So, where would you like to arrive? What are your goals? Where do you want to get? So, give me a call. All right?